and your melanated queen. Today's topic: please stop telling people your problems. Don't tell them your business. If you hear congestion in my voice, that's because I don't know what happened, but last night I fell under attack by this illness that I've been battling for the last 2 weeks. It was almost completely out of my system. Then, out of nowhere, at 2 a.m., I wanted to have a cough attack. My stomach muscles are sore, and I have congestion all up in here. You probably can still hear it. So, again, this is why you haven't really seen me on camera. I haven't been coming on because I've been going through it. I don't know what this is all about. Mm, 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 mm. Let me put the sunshades on. With the title, it says, "Don't be telling people your problems." Why do I say that, you might ask? I'm saying that because I feel like people will use it against you. Believe it or not, the people that you think that you're telling your problems to, that you can trust telling your problems to, a lot of times they are secretly happy, gloating, boastful, just glad that you have these issues going on, that you have these problems that you're telling them about. And a lot of times it's because they're not happy with what's going on in their lives. Their lives may be chaotic. They may be going through something too. And they say misery loves company, unfortunately. So just be very careful who you tell your problems to. Don't trust people. And even though you think these people can be trusted, you will find out what are they going to do once you tell them your issues. Start talking about you behind your back. Be telling everybody else that you don't even know. Especially, ooh, don't be telling people your business on the job, y'all. Excuse my hair because I need to wash my hair too. They will use that against you. You definitely don't want to let your manager know anything that you have going on personal because they don't care. They pretend like they care just so you can feed them more information, but they don't care. They will use whatever they can use against you. That's just the nature. That's just the unfortunate nature of these creatures called human beings living on this earth. People, I'm telling you, they're menaces, they're savages. Um, you can't trust them. You cannot trust them, y'all. So to stop telling people your problems. If you want to talk about your problems, you're better. What's good, Logan Jones? You laughing at me? What's best, I would start writing down stuff in a journal. Talk to the universe, talk to the creators, your ancestors, whoever you believe in. Talk to yourself, but don't talk to anyone else because you can't trust these monsters out here, these creature features. Best kid in the world, lol. I'm serious, y'all. Because I think that honestly, people sometimes when you tell them stuff, they be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." Yeah, right. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Watch people's body language. You said, "Damn." I'm not saying it's everybody. I'm saying it's some people, but just watch people's body language. A lot of times people will ask you how you're doing just because they want to be nosy in your life. It's not like they really care. Why are you laughing so hard? Why y'all laughing at me? I'm serious. That's how I look at people. Like I look at people with the side eye. I don't trust them. It's not everybody, y'all, but it's a lot of people out here that just they want to be entertained off of what's going on. What's going on, Juliet Harley? That's a neat name. They want to be entertained off of what's going on with your life, off of what's going on with your issues and stuff. So I would say this, like, when a person really cares about what you have going on, if they actually try to help you fix your issues or they try to give you suggestions and stuff like that. But like if they really be like, oh, that's messed up. Oh, like you could tell, like if they're very nonchalant, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, they say something stupid, don't even tell them anymore. Stop entertaining the conversation. Because a lot of times people will say dumb stuff just to get you irritated and aggravated, y'all. Like, it just don't be making sense. So you'll know when people really don't have like, true care for you when you start talking to them and stuff. Um, and I know, like, I've probably experienced this before. I'm sure I have. Or, like, if they're not really listening to you, what would your message to the world be? My message to the world is lead in love. That's my message to the world is lead in love. So I feel like Logan Jones, no matter what your religion, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are, if you lead in love, I don't think you can go wrong with that because if you look at everybody as a human being that's just trying to make it through this life, then we shouldn't have all these issues. But I know like so many people they get divided and divisive because it's like, oh, you don't believe in what I believe in, you don't have my religious beliefs. If you believe in something and somebody else doesn't, then they want to go against you and try to convert you, y'all. I just don't have time for all of that. And I feel like, religion and spiritual beliefs have been like the biggest cause of massacres on the planet. If you really look back in history, a lot of wars were caused because of, religion and all of that type of stuff. So I just say lead in love. And, if if you want to tell people your problems, if you want to entrust in that person, just make sure it's somebody that you truly, truly can trust because a lot of times people don't really care and they're being nosy. Like it's just entertainment for their ears, while they're going through what they're going through. It's like, oh, I didn't know she had this going on, girl. Let me tell you this, stuff like that. Guys do it, females do, everybody does it, I guess, to some capacity, but like, um, what I don't like to see personally is like when I know people are really genuine people and they go through things like over and over and over again. It's like a cyclical thing. Sometimes people try to blame you for what you're going through. Or what did you do to cause that? Well, why did they do this to you? And this and that. And sometimes it's nothing that you have done. It's nothing that you have brought onto yourself. It's just that these are the things that people do. Juliet said, and then passive aggressive comments are so annoying. I agree with you on that as well. Passive aggressive comments. Um, people like to gaslight people a lot. So, say you tell them something, they want to gaslight you into making you believe it. Well, what did you do to cause it? How could you have done this differently? I'm gonna tell you your jobs. Jobs are a big, big, they're the number one gaslighter in this world. And the reason I say that is because I've worked on if you had one wish, what would it be? Oh, you're making me think really deeply here. I would My wish would be that all of us could live together cohesively on this planet without interference from the government and without having to be under all the stressors that we're under, like the attacks. So, like, if we could live peacefully, and I mean, like, if they weren't tampering with our food, if they weren't tampering with the air, with the chemtrails, if we didn't have to worry about paying taxes, if we didn't have to slave on these jobs, if people could just live and be themselves and not have to fit into a stereotype. I think that would be a wonderful thing. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Y'all probably can hear my cat because she sees me and she can't get out here. Um, what was I saying? It was something I was saying. Oh yes, the job is the biggest gaslighter. You agree with me, Logan? Yes, because one thing they like to do is so it's stupid to me that they want you to get all these credentials because they're going to train you anyway. So I was looking at something earlier and it said, okay, so in order to work with certain types of people and certain types of children, you don't need a degree, you just need a certification. It only takes 40 hours to get the certification. So my thing is, why do you need all these backgrounds, all these credentials to do all these things? You don't need it. Then when you get the job, you meet the expectations, you exceed the expectations. Guess what they try to do next? They come up with, you have to go, no, okay, bye. They try to come up with an excuse on, okay, well, we cannot give you what you're worth, but we can give you this much because we have these budgets and all of this. It's nonsense, y'all. Because if you want somebody to do the job, then you pay them to do the job according to the expectation that you have for them. I used to go through that. I went through that before where I was meeting and exceeding job expectations. And the manager was like, oh, even though you got this type of rating, we can only give you this type of raise because we're on a budget. Yeah, they put us on a freaking it was like a freeze on our raises. Every year we would get a raise. 4 years we had a freeze on our raise. They made us contractors. It was horrible. So I say the jobs are the biggest gaslighters ever. They're always going to have an excuse and why they can't do something for you according to your worth. So you just have to take what you need in life. You have to make a path and make a way for yourself. So that's why it's like when you tell people your problems, you tell them your issues. If they don't have a good suggestion for you, they don't have some good advice or good feedback, I really wouldn't entertain the nonsense because it's going to further aggravate you. And people, like I said, they like to blame you. Like, so when you open up to them, they want to blame you. Oh, well, well, why don't you? They'll come up with stupid, like, excuses, stupid reasons, or just dumb stuff to say. And like, I get highly irritated with a bunch of petty nonsense, which is why I really don't talk to people about a lot of things. So you can kind of gauge, who these people are. If you've dealt with this before, then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't have to really tell you. But yeah, people don't really care about your problems like that. Some people just want, they just want to hear what's going on, want to be nosy. That's really the message that I had for today. I didn't have much to talk about. And also, too, I feel like people can help you when you tell them things. Like if there's something that maybe you need advice on, and they can help you with it, and they really don't try to help you, it's because they don't want to help you. So just read how people treat you. You're not overthinking it. You don't have to second guess yourself. Listen to your vibes, listen to your energy. um Especially because I don't like for people to go through stuff, and especially if I can help them, and I know that they don't have to suffer through whatever the situation is. I'm going to give them the advice. Hey, you don't have to pay for that. I know how to do this, this, and that. Well, you don't have to pay that person to, I remember somebody was going to pay someone to help them to strategize and develop their LLC. And I was like, hey, I went through all of this. I've done it for myself. You don't have to pay these people to teach you how to do that. The information is free. You just don't know how to go about doing it. You don't know how to get your EIN number? I can help you with that. I did it for myself. You don't know how to get your Duns and Bradstreet number? I can do that. It builds credit for your business. So stuff like that. I building my own website. I learned a lot of things through trial and error. Nobody really helped me do anything. I just researched. I sat down and I just researched it. But, sometimes when you're sitting down telling people, "Oh yeah, I don't know how to do this," or this little thing might be holding that person back from really expanding with their business or in life, and someone is sitting there holding on to the knowledge and they just won't share the information. That's to me that's ridiculousness. Hey, Tinkerpoo. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my cat because she wants to come outside. I'll be right back. Yeah, she is crying at the doorway, y'all. So I'm coming over here to get her. Come on, come on, come on outside. I guess she's gonna come, y'all. You can hear these are my chimes. I got those from Bed Bath and Beyond way back in the day when they were still open, but they have shut down Bed Bath and Beyond. Um, a lot of businesses have shut down too, if you've noticed. A lot of businesses have closed down, so I want to just send some words of encouragement to people too. Like if you do have a business, I don't care what type of business you have. I don't care if they call it a unquote small business. That is your business, and that's a business that's helping you to make money and helping you to thrive in this economy. Don't ever downplay yourself. Don't ever downplay yourself, because I want to tell you this. If Party City had to shut down, Circuit City had to shut down, a lot of businesses, restaurants have shut down in this economy, and you are still tending to your business. Keep going and don't worry about what people are saying, the naysayers, oh, business is slow. That's okay. Business is slow for a lot of major corporations. You see how they lay people off? That's the first thing they do is cut jobs, lay people off. The government just laid off thousands and thousands of people because of Donald Trump. So people want to look at you, and if you're doing or running a business, and because it's not to the level or the magnitude that they want to compare it to, don't worry about them people. You worry about what you have to do. Focus on you. Get tunnel vision. Like for me, social media, I try not to like go on other people's pages too much, because Facebook and what is it, Instagram and TikTok, it's overstimulating for me, and I don't like to be inundated in too many different directions. I like to just go on there, post what I need to post, and get off. Now, I might, check my messages here and there, but I don't like to be distracted, y'all, because these distractions will make you feel like you're not doing enough. Like for me, because I'm, going through sickness right now, I went to go show one house today and I felt like that wasn't enough. But I still got myself up, got out of the bed, fixed myself, went 30 minutes across town just to show this property. When a lot of people would be like, I don't feel like getting out the bed. I'm sick. I don't feel good. I'm congested, this and that. I still made myself get up, y'all, because you just never know where your next opportunity is coming from. You never know where your next business deal is coming from. So don't give up. I just want to send encouragement out there to people. I know that a lot of people are going through it. They're leaving America. A lot of people have just given up on America, and I can't blame them right now. um, so many people said they've been priced out of America. They're going to Thailand. They're going to Ghana. Y'all be careful going to these other countries because even though, social media shows you all the great things about these places, they're not showing you the negative about it either. We have to be careful. Lots of people lack empathy and are manipulative. They are manipulative and they will act like they care just so that you can keep telling them things, just so you could keep talking to them about it. Like if they call you and they ask you about your situation, or they bring it up and you really don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it because you don't have to. That's your business. You're in Canada, shout out to Canada. I have yet to go there. I do have a friend out in Canada in Toronto, and if you get a chance, check out his channel. It's called Black Revolutionary. I think it BRN, Black Revolutionary Network or something like that. But yeah, he posts a lot of things for empowerment for melanated people on his channel, and his channel is growing. You can follow him on Instagram. It is New Era Nubians on Instagram. He is a plethora of knowledge. He's like a walking encyclopedia for history. So that's why I've gotten a lot of my knowledge from as well, as far as learning about St. Patrick's Day. I think that's already gone. I learned about, the true meaning of Valentine's Day because of him. I learned about the Pygmies because of him. I learned about Australia and the Tasmanians because of him. So, I was already coming into the knowledge when one of my friends introduced me to Hidden Colors, the first and the second DVD set. And that really expanded my mind to want to know more about our history and about the truth. And that just did it for me. Once I watched Hidden Colors parts one, two, and three, that really did it for me. I had my mother, my sister, anybody that would listen to me and watch Hidden Colors, I turned them on to it. So one day, my sister, my friend, and I, we just sat and watched the DVD one, two, and three until like I fell asleep. It was like 5:36 a.m. and we woke up. We were supposed to we I fell asleep watching it, y'all, but it it opened up my mind so much because then I started finding out how much they were lying to us about our history, about a lot of people, with the Asians, like the Asiatic people, why we have squinted eyes because our history is tied into all across the globe. Like we were everywhere already. We were already covering this entire planet. And they say that, when they show us on social media or when they show us in the media, they make it seem like, oh, we just come from one continent, which is clearly not true, y'all. We just come from everywhere. We were already here and we just navigated and migrated. We navigated and migrated. So you have people, coming from the Caribbean, people coming from all different islands and everything. And I just love it. I love the diversity of our people. I love people that have Caribbean accents, Jamaican accents, Trinidadian, Haitian, just all types of different ethnicity groups. I love it all. Even the people that come from like London and Europe, and they have those UK accents. I love that too. And then every time I encounter people from another country and I get to talk to them, I like to ask them where they're from. And I ask them, what brought you here to the US? How do you like it? What are some things that you find interesting? A lot of them say that they came here for a better opportunity. Like one of my colleagues, she's from Jamaica. She's a fellow realtor, and she actually said it was better opportunity here, and that she's highly educated. And I just noticed that people from other countries, it seems to me like they really value education a lot more. Um, And I told her, I said, I'm pretty sure Americans probably seem a little ignorant to you because we don't know much about geography. And she agreed. She said there's a certain amount of, like, I guess, I don't want to say ignorance, but like naivety to Americans and a lot that we don't know. So, they're talking about the whole thing with China, how they have been making everything that we consume, which we already see that a lot of our stuff is made in China, clothes made in China, a lot of things that we have been purchasing over the last decade or so has been made in China. All of a sudden, because of these handbags, these Louis bags, these Gucci bags, these Birkin bags, these Prada bags, people are making TikTok videos and YouTube videos acting like they didn't know this. But I'm like, how could you not know this? How could you not know that these bags were made in another country? They boosted up the price and just sold it to y'all for thousands of dollars. Like, this is obviously what they've been doing. So I don't understand why people are acting like they didn't know any better. Ridiculousness, y'all. So I've gone off on a whole different tangent, a whole different topic, but I just still wanted to come on because I know I haven't been posting to the channel because of my sickness. And I just felt like it's a beautiful day right now. The weather is beautiful and the spirit touched me. So I said, well, let's just come on and talk. So I'm just coming on talking to y'all. Hopefully the next time you see me, my hair will be more done. I'll be feeling better and I will be able to, go live because I want to go live for F Your Feelings Friday, y'all. We got so much to talk about. And Angie Stone, that's another thing. So poor Angie Stone. I didn't realize she was from South Carolina, but I do think that someone did something to Angie Stone. I don't think she, passed away like they said she did in that vehicle crash. No way. I don't believe it. For one thing, why would that lady that said, okay, so let's make this make sense. Why would that lady disappear? Why would she say, oh, yes, I went over to the side of the road. I saw Angie Stone and I decided to help her out. And then all of a sudden, I saw a semi tractor trailer coming my direction. I heard my daughter screaming. So I moved out of the way, went over there with my daughter, and then Angie had gotten struck by the semi tractor trailer. That doesn't make sense to me. You know that people be lying. Yes, it does look beautiful. It is beautiful out here, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. You know that doesn't make sense. Also, they said that driver of that Sprinter van had been heavily drinking. And then on top of it, how does a semi tractor trailer cut all the way through the median to the other side of the road to strike only Angie Stone? That makes no sense whatsoever. It's like they had to come up with some type of story to make us understand that she really is DEAD. I think they did something to her. Sorry, I don't know anything about this case. Oh, wow. Yes, Juliet, please check it out when you get a chance. There have been a lot of YouTube channels talking about it. One in particular, if you watch Paperwork Party, look him up. Paperwork Party has been going in heavy and hard on it. I think he's located out in Dallas. He actually went to the hotel where Angie Stone was checked in the night before they, announced her untimely demise, and he thinks that they actually did something to her in the hotel room before. She got put into that Sprinter van. They think they might have placed her body in that Sprinter van. When I first heard about it, my friend told me about it. Excuse me, sorry, y'all. And it touched me. It did something to me. It's kind of like the Takeoff situation. It's kind of like the Lisa Lopez situation and the Aaliyah situation. Like all this stuff is coming out later, years later, about how they carried Aaliyah onto the plane. They said they had to give her some type of sleeping agent or something to knock her out because she didn't want to get on the plane. And it was a very small plane. Ironically, they had switched planes with what's his name? Lenny Kravitz sent Aaliyah a plane to take. Well, ironically, Hype Williams took the plane that was supposed to be sent for Aaliyah. So Aaliyah got stuck with that Cessna, that very small plane that went down moments after it took off. And think about this. This is really strange. There was a survivor. There were actually, I think, a couple of survivors from that plane crash. One was a man. He made it all the way to the hospital. How did he all of a sudden not survive after being at the hospital? Because I think that what they want to do is make sure that there are no survivors because there could be no witnesses. So they're going to easily put it on the fact that the pilot was, drinking, and they said the pilot was like getting high or something like that, and he was on drugs. Same thing with the Angie Stone situation. They said the driver, which his name is Lethal somebody, was heavily drinking. Now, why in the world would he heavily drink and then get into a sprinter van and start speeding down the highway? Then they announced that that highway is one of the busiest, most deadliest highways in that vicinity. So why would they have them to go that route? So they all of these things is a culmination of events that they put in place to try to make sure that whatever they wanted done to Angie, it was done. And like I said, that story touched me. Aaliyah's story touched me, and so did Takeoff's story. And I still feel like we haven't gotten to the bottom of what happened to Takeoff. I just think that people know what happened. I think they were threatened. I think there were too many witnesses for people not to come forward. Too many video camera phones, y'all. Too much evidence for people not to be able to say what happened to Takeoff. There's no way that he accidentally got shot by DJ Pat in a cross shoot of gunfire. There's no way it happened like that. Um, I think that what's his name from the Migos? Takeoff, Offset, and the other one, the little short one. I can't think of his name. I think he knows. Takeoff. What's his name, y'all? Um, I can't think of his name right now, but I think he knows what happened. And I just know that a lot of sacrifices take place with that Hollywood stuff when people are in the industry, with